Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are all doing well. My name is Ed, and this is the Morning Goals. Every Thursday, we come live to you to talk about different topics. Today's topic is about letting go. So we're going to do a little exercise in a little bit. So what I want everybody to do is get a sticky note or a piece of paper ready, and we'll talk a little bit about letting go. So all of us have gone through life with things that have happened to us, with feelings that we have towards people, with emotions that we carry deep inside of us, and a lot of things that we need to work on, to be honest, to move ahead in life. And that's what coaching is about, is we start right now and we move forward and we learn to let go. You might have some friends who are vengeful, vindictive, or come across people who gossip and share information they probably shouldn't share, or talk about people behind their backs. All of those toxic and negative experiences relate to them holding things inside that they probably should let go. And our happiness is affected by it. Relationships are affected by these negative and toxic emotions in relationships. And I strongly believe that all of us need to do work on letting things go. So I'm going to do a quote for you. We'll talk a little bit about, then we'll kind of talk a little bit about that. So learn to let go of things not meant for you. Okay, so learn to let go of things not meant for you, by Aniki McConnell. And so sometimes we try things, do things, or in relationships, and we know they're wrong. And I've talked about this. In your gut, you know it's wrong. The initial reaction, you know it's wrong. And you sort of kind of go through it because you think it's going to get better. But then time goes by and it doesn't get better. You start feeling angry and resentful and sometimes stuck. And people, this happens all the time. And I think that it's sort of a human nature to, we look for good in people. We try to change people. I'm a coach, right? So a lot of us, when we're doing our coaching sessions and coaching training, we came from a place of wanting to help people, right? But with that, we realized that, one, people have to help themselves. So our job as coaches and helping people let go is to help them move forward, or realize that they have the answers inside of them and they have the ability to move forward. Learn to let go. That's happiness. Learn to let go, and that will reduce stress. And so there is a great meme here of learn to let go of control in your life and be the surfer. I've talked about that in before. Learn to let go of the past. I think I've spoken a little bit about that before as well. Learn to let go of anger. That's sometimes easier said than done. Learn to let go of relationships. Sometimes we have friends that we might need to let go of, or we're in a relationship that is so toxic, it's harmful and dangerous for us, or it could affect us negatively in the long term. Learn to let go. Learn to let go of resentment. We talk about on an ongoing basis sort of these things that start festering, and then you're angry at yourself, you're angry at someone else for you start blaming people. That resentment feeling, we've all felt it before when we've done something. And then let go of past mistakes, right? So the past is in the past, and you can't go back. All you can do is try to do better and make better choices as you move forward. So when we talk a little bit about how can we do these things, the whole first 5 minutes of this, I said, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go of these things. So how do you do this? So we're going to do a little exercise. So all of you should have, I said at the beginning, a little piece of paper here. And we're going to use the front and the back of the piece of paper. So right now, I want you to write 5 things you really, 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 really want to do in your life right now. So everybody, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to be quiet for just 2 seconds and write a few things you really, 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 really want to do in your life that you haven't been able to. Okay, or maybe you're thinking about those things in your life that you can write down that you really, really, really want to do. Okay. So you've either written them down, the exercises for writing, but you might have thought about them. So now on the back side of your piece of paper, write what's holding you back from doing them. Okay, so if that thing you really, 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 really want to do and haven't been able to, what's holding you back? Is it family? Is it money? Is it, what is it? So pause for a quick second. Okay, write those things down on your thing. Okay, so on one side, we've written things we really, really want to do. On the back side, we've written things that are holding us back from doing those things. Okay, here we go. Do as I do. Okay, and throw it away. Okay, so that should be cathartic for some of you if you've done the exercise with me. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself, right? So all of those things that you wrote that you really, really, really want to do, and those things that are preventing you from doing those things, that's you. So you're holding yourself back. So all of those things that you wrote, or those excuses that you wrote on the opposite side of why you haven't been able to do the things that you want to do, that's holding you back. So this exercise is to physically tear it all apart, throw it away, and let go and move forward. Okay. So this is so important because there are many things in our lives that prevent us from moving forward, but the one person who always prevents us from moving forward is ourselves. I tell this story often. When I went to, I'm a graduate from Harvard, and you guys probably know that already. And my mentor, who's class of 75 at Harvard, every 5 years does a survey for his class reunion on people at Harvard. And some of the questions are related to happiness. A couple of questions are, did you think you're going to be here right now, 5 years out of college, 10 years out of college, 15 years out of college? Overwhelmingly 80 or 90% said, no, I didn't think I would be where I am at in my life, for the good or the bad. Another question is, are you happy where you are at in your life right now, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years out of college? And guess what? An overwhelmingly amount of them said they're not happy where they're at in their life right now, and they thought they would be somewhere different, maybe making more money. And what I say to all of that is that what's preventing us from doing that is ourselves, right? And so we need to let go of these excuses. I had a very tough childhood, experience both trauma and death in my life. And I tell everybody, all of those things that I went through, one, made me the man who I am right now. But I had two options. I could use them as excuses, or I could use them as learning experiences. And I chose to use them as learning experiences. I've had friends and acquaintances who had the same type of background as I did, and used those things as excuses, and didn't reach their potential, and got stuck. So as you go through life, I strongly believe that you can physically tear those excuses away, throw them away, and let your life be a little bit softer and lighter as you move forward. So that little exercise, do it every week. Say, hey, these are the things I want to do this week. These are the things that prevented me from doing those things. Throw them away and say, nope, I can move forward with my life. So 10 ways to let go. Sorry, not 10 ways. Several other ways to let go of things is, one, there's always somebody worse off than you. So when you think that you're in such a bad place or in a relationship or you're holding on to something, there is always someone worse than you. So be grateful, be thankful, and focus on that positive in your life. Don't look back to your past. Now, there's a room for therapy, and some of us need therapy, but most of us are working, are doing things in our life, are moving ahead, are self-improving. If you're listening to this, you're working on yourself and you're doing self-improvement. You might be going to therapy, but every person who hurt you in the past isn't preventing you from moving forward. It's an emotion that's preventing you from moving forward. So be aware of what you empower or who you let affect you in your life. And I used this example a few videos ago. My dad was an alcoholic growing back. And I've heard in my life, oh, I didn't go to Harvard because my dad was an alcoholic. Oh, I didn't become a lawyer because my dad was an alcoholic. Oh, I don't have money because my dad was an alcoholic. No, your dad was an alcoholic. My dad actually stopped drinking 25 years ago, cold turkey, after he had an accident. He didn't prevent me from doing any of those things. If I let that emotion and that trauma affect me, I need to work on that, right? And so therapy, there's a place for that. I always say this, but for most of us, we're leaning on this crutch, this excuse before we sort of move forward. Let go of a mistake, but don't make the mistake twice, right? So if you made a mistake in your past, if you made it again, you didn't learn from the lesson of it. So if you made a mistake, learn from it, and don't get in the same cycle. I have friends who are in relationships, and they're going from one bad relationship to another bad relationship and to another bad relationship. And if you analyze the relationships, they're making the same mistake over, and it is a cycle. Analyze that, or have someone help you analyze those mistakes that you've made. You've known them, you've seen them, you're living them. You probably catch yourself when you're doing them. Learn the lesson. Don't make the mistake twice. And then lastly, don't overcompensate. We talk about this week we're talking a lot about this week and moving forward, we're talking about positives, right? And so letting go is a positive. Letting go of people, things, emotions, those are all positives in your life. And so lastly is don't overcompensate. It's okay to be vulnerable and to be weak and to share feelings. And I think that that's part of the confidence in ourselves. And I think sometimes when we're feeling weak and vulnerable, we overcompensate with a smile, or we overcompensate with, we sort of over embellish our stories to protect ourselves so that people can't see the vulnerability inside of us. So accept it and don't overcompensate. So the last thing I'm going to say here is a quote from Buddha. And Buddha says, letting go is happiness. So everybody, let go of something this week. I have a podcast called The Future Breakup, and that's about letting go. It's about what are the things that you had to break up in life to move ahead, right? You might have had to break up with yourself. You have to break up with an old version of yourself, with a person, with a habit, with an idea, and we've all done it. Analyze those things that you've had to break up with in your life, and move forward and let go. So with that, go visit thefuturebreakup.com. You can listen to some of those episodes. And as always, you can find me at themorninggoals.com. Let go. Bye.